Let me tell you something, Queen. There's a moment, and if you're a Black woman over 50, you already know exactly the one I'm talking about. When you stop dressing for the world and start dressing for yourself. It's not a rebellion. It's not a phase. It's a homecoming. One morning, you wake up, look in the mirror, and realize you've spent decades shrinking, softening, muting, choosing the safe color, hiding the arms, covering the knees, wearing what you were supposed to wear instead of what makes you feel like you. And then, one day, maybe it's your 55th birthday, maybe it's a random Tuesday, you decide you're done. And that, my love, is when the crown goes on. Welcome back to Ageless Crown, the only space on YouTube where we talk about style, confidence, and presence for Black women who are entering their most powerful season yet. Not anti-aging, not age-defying. We don't defy anything, sweetheart. We embrace, we elevate, we own. And today, I want to share something that changed everything for me. Not a wardrobe overhaul, not a shopping spree, not a list of things to buy. I want to share 7 style principles that have nothing to do with trends, nothing to do with what's in, and everything to do with how you feel in your own skin. Before we go any further, because I know your time is precious, Queen, and I honor that, do me a favor. Pause this video and hit that subscribe button. Tap the bell, too, because we drop new wisdom every single week, and I don't want you missing a single gem. And while you're at it, leave me a comment. Tell me what's one thing you've stopped wearing because it wasn't serving you anymore. I want to celebrate that freedom with you. Now let's get into it. The first principle isn't about color, cut, or cost. It's about space. Space between the fabric and your skin, space for air to move, space for you to exist inside your clothes without feeling like you're being hugged by someone who won't let go. Clothes are supposed to serve you, not suffocate you. For years, I bought things that looked beautiful on the hanger, slim, sleek, fitted, and then spent the whole day tugging, adjusting, and apologizing for the fact that I had curves, a belly, a body that had lived a full life. I blamed myself. I blamed my weight. I blamed the fact that I wasn't a size 6 anymore. But here's the truth I had to learn the hard way, Queen. It was never my body. It was the fabric. The clothes that truly work, the ones that make you feel like you can breathe, have a certain kind of backbone. Not stiff, not rigid, but present. A linen that holds its shape. A cotton poplin that stands away from the skin. A denim with enough weight to drape rather than cling. Thin, slippery, shiny synthetics, they are not your friends. They might look good in the changing room mirror under those forgiving lights, but give them an hour of body heat and a little humidity, and they will lie down on you. They will map every single contour you own. They will cling like they're auditioning for a second skin, and not the good kind. But dense natural cloth, it hovers, it floats, it allows a thin layer of air to travel between you and the world. And here's the magic, sweetheart. When you walk into a room wearing fabric that breathes with you instead of against you, people don't see a woman fighting her clothes. They see a woman who is composed, unbothered, unflappable. And that composure, that reads as power. That reads as a woman who knows exactly who she is and isn't apologizing for an ounce of it. So here's your first assignment, Queen. Go to your closet and touch every summer top you own. If it's thin, slippery, and synthetic, thank for its service and let it go. You deserve better. Your skin deserves better. Your crown deserves better. Number 2 is small, but it's sharp. Before you leave the house, take one thing off. The second bracelet, the extra scarf, the belt you'd added because something felt unfinished, the necklace fighting your earrings, the brooch that was the third accessory to many. I know. It feels counterintuitive. You think more equals more. You think adding one more piece will make the outfit complete. But here's what I've learned, Queen. An outfit almost never fails for being too plain. It fails because it was asked to carry 6 ideas at once, and it carried none of them. Let me explain how looking actually works, sweetheart. Your eye and everyone else's eye settles on one thing at a time. Hand them a print, a shine, a bold color, a piece of hardware, and a texture all at once, and their eye never lands anywhere. It slides right off you. Nothing gets remembered. You become a blur of stuff instead of a woman with presence. But strip the noise away, remove the extras, and suddenly there's only one place for the eye to go: your face. That was always the target anyway, wasn't it? I had a dear friend test this before a wedding. She wore a simple navy dress with nothing on it. No necklace, no brooch, no scarf. She came back mildly annoyed because 4 different people told her she looked well, and not a single one mentioned the dress. The rule worked exactly as designed. They weren't looking at the clothes, they were looking at her. You are not a mannequin queen. You are not a display rack. You are a woman with a story in your eyes, wisdom in your smile, and a crown that doesn't need a single accessory to be visible. So get dressed, look once, and remove whatever you added last. It's almost always the piece that was working hardest and helping least. And yes, it will feel wrong to remove it. Do it anyway. Trust me. Now, here's where things get interesting, queen, because minimalism, the kind that tells you to wear all beige all the time with no personality, has a failure mode, and nobody warned you about it. Without tension, minimalism stops looking elegant and starts looking like a uniform. Gray trousers, gray knit, gray shoe. Technically correct and about as inviting as a filing cabinet. So, here's the principle that saves you. Put 2 opposing textures into one outfit and let them pull against each other. The pairing is always rigid against fluid. A tailored blazer with a real shoulder over a knit that pours. A crisp cotton shirt with linen trousers that move like water. Leather against cashmere. Canvas against silk. One piece holds a hard line. The other refuses to hold anything at all. Structure gives you edges, and edges announce a decision. Softness does the opposite. It keeps the outfit from looking pressed and corporate. Neither half works on its own. Together, they produce the quality everybody tries to fake, looking assembled without looking like you labored over it. Where people go wrong is treating the soft piece as the lazy piece. A draping cardigan is not something you fling over the top as an afterthought. It is chosen with the same care as the blazer, in a fiber that hangs properly, at a length that lands where you want attention to stop. I watched a woman do this perfectly, a sister about 70 at a Saturday market. Stiff navy work jacket over a long fluid dress and flat sandals. The jacket said carpenter. The dress said dinner. She was buying tomatoes, and she looked better than anyone within a mile. Nothing on her was expensive. Get the friction right, queen, and color barely matters. You can build an entire outfit in one shade, one rich melanin-honoring shade, and it will still have life in it, because the interest comes from what the cloth is doing, not what it cost. Now, let's talk about color, honey, because this is where so many of us get lost. Build your wardrobe around a single saturated neutral and stay inside one temperature lane. Navy, tauze, deep teal, a rich warm brown that makes your melanin sing. Whatever you choose anchors everything else. Everything else, every scarf, top, accessory, sits warm or cool beside it, never a mixture of both. That single habit, queen, is why some women's clothes look expensive when plenty of them aren't. Cohesion is what money looks like. But let me tell you about the colors I've learned to avoid. Muddy beige? No, sweetheart. It drops a gray veil over your skin and pulls sallowness to the surface. Acid brights? The saturation is loud but flat, so it glares instead of glowing and hauls all the attention onto itself and away from you. Washed-out pastels? They sit too close in value to silver hair and pale skin, so the entire picture blurs into one soft smear with no edges anywhere. And fourth, the trap so many sisters over 60 walk straight into: ashy, cool gray. I know, gray feels safe. Gray feels sophisticated. But put ash gray next to silver hair, your silver hair, that crown you've earned, and the two cancel each other out. The hair stops looking like silver and starts looking like fading. And that is not what we're doing. Your silver hair is a high-value neutral. It is regal. It is earned. It is a badge of honor, and it needs something dark and warm behind it before it looks deliberate at all. Navy behind silver? Spectacular. Deep teal? Stunning. Warm chocolate brown? Glorious. Ash gray? Nothing at all. A friend switched from beige to deep teal for one summer, and people kept asking where she'd been. She hadn't been anywhere further than the coast. The color took credit for a holiday she never had. That's the power of the right shade, Queen. The Italians named this centuries ago, sprezzatura, the art of making something carefully decided look completely accidental. In practice, Queen, it comes down to two habits. 1, expensive things get handled casually. 2, one part of every outfit is deliberately left undone. The draping first. A cashmere sweater doesn't go on, it goes over, knotted at the shoulders, hanging off one arm, slung around the neck with no symmetry. Scarves and shawls get the same treatment, never arranged, never pinned, always looking as though you picked it up on the way out. And the undone element. An open collar, cuffs unbuttoned and shoved up, a trench with the belt knotted instead of buckled. One deliberate loose end every single time. Both habits do the same work. Perfectly finished clothing announces effort, and effort announces that the result mattered to you. That makes a woman look like she's holding a position instead of living her own life. Leave one element open, the outfit exhales. It stops being a costume. It becomes you. There's a limit, though. 1 undone thing looks like ease. 3 looks like a woman who dressed in the dark. What holds it together is everything else being immaculate, pressed, clean, fitting properly. The loose end only lands as a choice when nothing around it could be mistaken for an oversight. I wore the shoulder knot for a year before it stopped feeling like fancy dress. What fixed it? Giving up on adjusting it in every window I passed. Once I stopped checking, it started looking right. Now we get into the arithmetic, Queen. Split your body 60-40 and never down the middle. A 50-50 division, a jacket stopping at mid-thigh, a hem cutting the leg in half, compresses the frame and freezes it in place. But move the break to roughly 60% one way, and the eye sets off across you rather than stopping dead, and a traveling eye judges a body taller. The break usually sits at the natural waist, with one volume playing against one restraint: loose trousers, fitted top, voluminous shirt, narrow leg, never loose against loose. That's the mistake I see most often: a loose shirt, a loose trouser, and a body that's gone missing somewhere in the middle. Where the break lands depends on your build, and this part deserves a slower minute, sweetheart, because your body is unique and it deserves honoring. If you carry weight through your hips, a defined shoulder and a wide-leg trouser skimming the floor turns the lower half into one long column. Roll sleeves to expose wrists and ankles. Put your narrowest points on show while the volume floats past. If you have a defined waist, honor it with a soft tie or wrap, not a stiff belt sawing across it. If you're straight up and down, manufacture a waist with a paper bag trouser, a sash, a belt in a contrasting shade. If you have broad shoulders, add weight underneath, a full skirt with movement, and keep the neckline plain. Then comes the last check before the door. 3 lines: the cuffs, the collar, the hem. If those 3 edges are crisp and sitting where you intended, an oversized garment looks designed. If one is crumpled, twisted, or half turned under, the same garment looks borrowed. Nobody consciously notices those 3 lines, but everybody reacts to them. And finally, Queen, the principle that makes all the other six mean something, because without this one, the other six produce a well-dressed woman that nobody remembers. And you, my love, are not here to be forgotten. Most Black women over 50 have been trained, gently, persistently, for decades, to dress in order to disappear. Cover the arms. Nothing too bright, nothing too young. Don't draw attention. It arrives dressed as good taste. It functions as instruction, and it works because you follow it and you do become harder to see. The ownership shift is the refusal. You dress from the inside out. You choose what makes you feel like yourself in the mirror, and the world's opinion turns up afterwards, if it turns up at all. It shows in visible decisions. I wear my silver hair uncovered, uncorrected, unapologetic. My makeup is minimal, weighted towards skin that has been looked after rather than skin that has been hidden. Neither is a surrender to age. Both are decisions that what I actually look like is the starting material, not a fault to be repaired before I'm permitted out of the house. The difference lives in the body, not the wardrobe. Women dressing to disappear stand smaller, shoulders folded, bag across the front, arms crossed. Women dressing from the inside out, they stand up straight. They move at their own pace, and that carries across a room faster than any fabric ever could. I had an aunt who cut her hair and stopped coloring at 73 after 20 years of appointments she'd long stopped enjoying. The strange part, she said, wasn't what I looked like afterwards. It was that I stopped rehearsing what I would say if somebody commented. She doesn't walk into a room hoping to be noticed. She walks in already fully occupying herself, and nothing in that costs money, and nothing in it can be bought. So here's what I want you to remember, Queen. 6 of these are craft, cloth, color, proportion, the way an edge sits, learnable in a season at any budget in any body. But the 7th decides what the other 6 are for. Dressing stops being a defense against being seen and turns into the way you arrive somewhere. That shift was available at 40, it's available at 50, at 60, at 78, and it's available on a wet Tuesday in whatever is already hanging up in your closet. Because your crown isn't out there, Queen. It's right here. You've earned it. You've lived it. You've survived, thrived, and risen through seasons that would have broken lesser women. And now you get to wear it. If this video touched something in you, hit that like button. It tells YouTube to share this message with more sisters who need to hear it. Drop a comment and tell me which of these 7 principles spoke to you the most. I read every single one and I want to hear your story. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Ageless Crown. Tap that bell because we're just getting started, Queen. We've got so much more to talk about. Style, confidence, beauty, and the kind of freedom that only comes with age. Because you are not fading, sweetheart. You are blooming. Stay crowned, Queen, and I'll see you in the next one.